Hey everyone, and welcome back to Living the IE, California's Inland Vibe, right here on KBT 1490 AM or 98.1 FM. Or if you're listening on many of the podcast platforms, thank you for joining me. Or if you're viewing us on YouTube, hey everyone, and welcome no matter where you're listening or coming from. I'm your host, Stephanie, and today's episode is a big one because it's my birthday. It's not actually my birthday today because I'm recording on a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. But when you're hearing this, it's actually going to be my birthday, and I am so stoked. I cannot wait to be in my 40s. My 30s are like, I'm not going to pretend that they were magical and a beautiful decade. My 30s sucked. Like, there were some amazing moments, and there were some really freaking hard moments. There's probably enough to make 3 seasons of a damn Netflix episode, okay, people? But it did have its good moments, and some amazing people in them have entered my life. Sadly, a few have left, but I don't know. We're not going to get into that. Not the right setting, and I don't have another type of drink other than my coffee in my hand. But there were some pretty incredible moments, and my boys always make moments just that much more amazing. We went out to Hawaii one summer, and there's just a bunch of things I can get into that I need to stop talking about. But I mean it, and I'm walking into my 40s with a completely different attitude. It's my 40s, and they're gonna be amazing. Everyone that I know agrees with me. They say their 40s are the best. So consider this episode my official declaration that this decade is going to be where I stop apologizing, I start living, and I keep laughing and maybe make some questionable mistakes along the way because that's what we do here on Living the IE. And speaking of getting out and experiencing something new and finding some incredible things happening around Southern California, today I have a really, really, really fun guest joining me, and I'm so excited to talk with her and share more about it because when I first heard about it, I'm like, what? She'll tell us all the details. I'm talking about Sharbie, the director of marketing and PR for the Festival of Arts, if I can talk, in Laguna Beach. We're going to talk about art, creativity, and the Festival of Arts, which makes Southern California tradition so special and why you don't have to consider yourself an art person to have a great time. There are so many places in Southern California that you visit, and there are so many places that can completely surprise you. Imagine walking into a world where famous works of art actually come to life, where paintings that you've seen hanging in museums that are recreated on stage with real people and sets, lighting, costumes, and an unbelievable amount of detail. That is the Festival of Arts and Pageant of in Laguna Beach. And today on Living the IE, California's Inland Vibe, we're getting behind the scenes look at Southern California's most unique artistic traditions. I am joined by Sharbie, the director of marketing and PR of the Festival of Arts, where we're going to find out what really goes on into putting this whole experience together, what people can expect when they attend, and why this is one of Southern California's events that you might want to put on your summer bucket list before it's gone. And honestly, what a better episode to talk about this life experiencing moment and trying new things and making memories other than my birthday special because I'm turning 40. And after everything my 30s have put me through, I am officially declaring this decade going out and trying new things and actually living. So let's get into it. This is Living the IE, California's Inland Vibe, right here on KMT 1490 AM, 98.1 FM. And Sharbie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Great for being here. And I love the
Of
40s.
course.
So you're
I
looking for the
know.
best experience right now.
I know. Everyone I talk to always tells me their 40s are the best. The 30s, like they put me through some stuff. So I'm really excited for my 40.
You know what? You had a great intro there trying to explain what the pageant and the masters is. And that's one of my hardest job is to try to explain it or put it in words. But I always tell people, you really just have to come and see it because what we do is we recreate famous works of art with real people And it's a stage production, so it's accompanied by a beautiful orchestra music, and there's a story being told as each living artwork is being presented on stage. It sounds really crazy. I'm originally from West Virginia, and when I told my mom and my dad that what I was doing and working here and everything, they were like, "You do what?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it sounds strange." But then they came out to song and they were like, this is really cool. And it is very cool.
I cannot wait to go see it. And like I was telling you before we started the show, Tori had told me about it, and I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm like, oh, is it a pageant? Is it an art show? I'm like, she's saying something, and I don't know what she is saying. So it's a pageant and it's an art show. Maybe we can explain that a little bit more for our listeners that's like, so maybe a little bit confused on what it actually is.
It is actually both. So we have two shows that are happening simultaneously down here in Laguna Beach. And we have the Pageant of the Masters, which is our nighttime production that we were just talking about, that we're world famous for. And then we have our fine art show, which is in front of the amphitheater. And we have 120 artists whose artwork is being featured. And it's every medium that you can possibly imagine, from jewelry to ceramics to painting, you name it, digital art, woodwork, work sculpturing. It's really amazing how talented these artists are. And it's a fine art jury show, which means they are selected to be in the show. So it's quite an honor to be able to showcase your work at the Festival of Arts. And in addition to the fine art show and all the wonderful artists, we also have a whole bunch of special events during the weekends. We have live music every night. And if you're interested in trying your own hand at art, we have art workshops that you can try to create your own piece of art and take it home. But there's so much to see and do. And a little secret here, your actual Pageant of the Masters ticket is also a season pass to the fine art show. So you can come back all summer long and check out all the music, all the entertainment, talk to the artists, walk around, enjoy the events, all the way through September 3rd.
That is so cool. I didn't know that pass got you into that too until September 3rd. That's cool. Because it's like you get even more with it than I even knew that you got. Officially in the final 3 weeks of the Festival of Arts and the Pageant of Masters. For someone who hasn't made it out there this summer, why is now the best time to come?
Oh gosh, anytime is a great time to come, but we're wrapping up. We're going to be gone. We don't, the festival only happens during the summer. So there's a short amount of time to come and check it out. The show, The Greatest of All Time, which is our theme this year, is getting rave reviews. And it's something you really want to see. We're recreating artworks by Da Vinci, by Picasso, even Van Gogh, some really Vermeer, some famous recognizable names that you'd like to see and check out in the show. In fact, that's the whole idea of the theme this year, is like, who is the goat of art? So we're challenging our audience to decide for themselves what makes for a great artist. And we give you some ideas, but hopefully you'll walk away with some of your own.
So every year it changes themes.
It does. Each and every, our pageant director, Diane Chalice Davy, she changes the theme next year. And that's really great because, next year, if you come, you come this year, and then you come next year, it's a different show. So it's still the idea of living pictures, but it's these living pictures telling a story in a different way. And there's new pictures selected every single year. So she'll be in the process of selecting next year's theme soon. And she'll have figured out what pieces are going to be in the show by the end of November. And then we start building from there and going into rehearsals in February. And the real magic or secret sauce, I will say, about the Pageant of the Masters is our volunteers. It takes roughly about 500 volunteers to put on our show. And by the end of our summer season, they would have contributed roughly about 60,000 hours of their time for the sake of art. Because I don't think I mentioned, we are a nonprofit art organization, and we do so much good for the community and for the arts. We've probably given out like $4 million in art scholarships, and probably another $4 million in grants to local art organizations. So
that is amazing. I work for the school district too, so I love hearing grants and scholarships and stuff like that. Because our little kiddos and our scholars, they deserve to have that little helping hand, because a lot of them have such amazing talents, and it's just so hard for them to get into schooling and get those degrees that they need. So that is amazing and beautiful. Thank you guys so much for providing that for our kiddos and our scholars.
Of course. Yeah, and talking about kiddos, I was talking about those volunteers that are in the show posting like these works of art. Our youngest volunteer is 5 years old. Can you believe that? And our eldest volunteer is
Wow.
probably 80 plus. They wouldn't want me to tell you, but we have volunteers this year that's in the show for the very first time, and some have been here doing it for 35 years or even more. So it's really amazing the fact that they do give of their time and basically their whole summer for the sake of art.
Yeah. That's cool. I love that. And then getting them started so young too. Like what a great work ethic they're going to have and that team building, all those skills they're going to learn throughout their whole childhood. That's awesome. I have
Yeah.
4 boys here if you need some more volunteers.
Send them our way. We're always looking for them.
I
That's
will.
how you're selected to be in the show is purely based on your size, and how well you would scale or fit into a set piece. So, and you have to hold still for 90 seconds. Are your boys able to do that? Hold
No.
still for 90 seconds. No, okay, maybe not. How old are they?
But we're gonna train them to sit still for 90 seconds.
Okay. All right.
We'll
They have to
start
hold
tonight.
that pose. Great.
Okay. No, I know, right? So is there, with this recreation of this year's pageant, has there been like a particular favorite one that you have that maybe if I were to go out there, I'll be like, oh, that's her favorite.
Yes, there is a well, there's a few favorites, but one that is really an outstanding moment of the show is the recreation of the Trevi Fountain. It is a gigantic set, and so not only do we recreate paintings, but we recreate sculptures as well. And it is just a dynamite presentation of the Trevi Fountain, large in scale. The music accompanying it is just beautiful. And I do have to say, one of my favorites are also the Trevi. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Well, also, one of my favorites is our traditional finale, which is Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. And we've been doing that piece since 1936, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Go out and check that out. I can't wait to see it. And between making the artist, live music, art demonstrations, workshops, and special events, there is really something happening through the grounds everywhere, which visitors make sure they do an experience before the summer ends.
Wow, my favorite thing to do in the art show is to walk around and talk to the artists themselves. So they're on site, and it's really neat to learn about their craft and about the artwork that they're presenting. And hopefully, just maybe, you might just see something that you're interested to hang in your living room or in your kid's bedroom. But it's fascinating to learn about the artists themselves, and I would say, and go on one of those art tours. So.
That's really cool that you get to go out there too and connect with the artists, see like what it's like to actually do that. Because it's so cool when you look at it. Like I told you and shared with you too before we started. I've never been out there, so I didn't know what it was. And then I did see a B-roll film, which I'm going to put in the podcast. So if you're viewing, you get to see that. Of these people just they turn into the art. It's
They do.
crazy.
Yeah.
It is so
Yeah.
neat. Like I would have never thought to do something like that. So it is so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. My whole family have actually participated in the pageant of the Masters. It's really cool and one of my favorite pieces that I've been in was a Toulouse-Lautrec piece that was a can-can girl. But it's really magical to step into a painting, or you've seen the painting in real life, and you're always wondering, like, what would it be like to be part of that scene? And as one of our cast volunteers, you get to experience just that. So it's really the experience of being a volunteer, and then also as an audience member to watch what looks like you will look at the painting on the stage and you'll say, there's no people in there. And then you get your binoculars out and someone's blinking or there's a little movement. And then you realize, oh my gosh, those are really people that I'm looking at right now in this show.
That is so awesome. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to come out before it ends. It ends September 4th.
Yes, our last day is September 4th, and we're ending with a big finale event. It's called The Greatest Party of All Time, And it's something new for us this year. It's a little fundraiser for the arts in our organization, and our pageant director is switching up the show for this night only. So it's still going to be the greatest of all time. However, there's going to be some spins and surprises and more movement in the show and some props than has been, because we have been open since July 9th, and we have a show every single night. But on September 4th, it's a little bit different. We also have a celebrity host that evening, which is Isai Morales. Isai Morales, and he is going to host and do a welcome. And you might recognize his name from he was in the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, also the Final Reckoning with Tom Cruise, La Bamba, NYPD Blue. Really a wonderful gentleman, and he also is a longtime champion of the arts. And in fact, he's co-founded the National Hispanic Foundation. So we are thrilled to have him as our guest host. And we have a special band it's a Beatle tribute band called Hard Day's Night that'll be playing. And that's before the pageant night performance. So it is going to be one big party with lots of surprises. I can't tell you everything, but it surely is a night to come and attend. And especially if you want to come and support the arts.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is we have to go out 2 nights. We got to go before the greatest party of all time, which I will definitely be trying to do and putting that on my calendar, because I want to see the change. So for those that are listening, where can they get tickets and how do they find you? Where are you at?
Sure. So we're in Laguna Beach. So you can get Pageant at pageanttickets.com. Really simple. And or visit our website. Another website to go to is foapom.com. And you can get
foapom.com.
Or pageanttickets.com.
Awesome.
will take you there as well. Yep.
All right. One little fact that I saw that it was just amazing. It's fascinating to me to go back to the volunteers. By the end of summer, volunteers will nearly have donated 60,000 hours of production
of their time.
That is, oh my God.
Yes. And the reason why it takes so many volunteers and so many hours is we double cast our show. And so we have what's called the green cast and the blue cast. So they're on for 7 days. And then the next group will come in for 7 days, and they alternate all summer. Because remember, as I said earlier, we're open every single day. So that would be really hard to give your whole summer, to us. So, and again, 60,000 hours. And it's great for the kids who do volunteer. They can get volunteer hours and credits through their high school, and it looks really great on a college resume and application as well. So, and we have had some kids just literally grow up, start when they're 5 years old, and I see them now going into college.
That's beautiful. I love those stories. They make my heart so happy.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So the festival offers a full calendar of special events through summer, cultural art days, which will take place on Sundays. How many more of those? We only have like 2 or 3 more of those, don't we?
No, that Cultural Arts Day has completed, but our next coming up is going to be Battle of the Arts, which is a cool, really event in which our artists are actually going to be competing against one another. We're going to have paint-offs with artists. We're going to have what's called a ceramic throwdown with our ceramic artists. We're even going to have dueling pianos. And so that event is coming up on August 23rd. It's a Sunday. And so to remind everybody, if you get your Pageant Masters ticket, that also is a season pass to the Festival of Arts. So you can just show that same ticket, come back and show that same ticket on that Sunday, and that will get you in to see the Battle of the Arts. So we're excited. We just came off a wonderful, incredible. I'm sorry, your listeners missed this, but we came off a recycled fashion show, in which our artists went out of their
Oh my
normal
God.
medium and they created these really cool recycled clothing outfits, and it was a huge competition, and it was very fun and very exciting. But there's also
That
great
sounds
music.
so fun.
Yes, there's fabulous music. We have music every single night at 5:30, and then also in the afternoons on the weekends. On the During the week, Monday through Friday, we open at 4 p.m. and run through 11:30 p.m. And on the weekends, open at 11 a.m. and run till 11:30 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
11:30. What a long day for those volunteers.
Well, the volunteers are only there in the evening for the show.
Oh,
So
true.
during the day, it's really all about the art show, and the pageant performance is every single night at 8:30 p.m. Our volunteers' first call time is 7 p.m. So they get in there around 7 p.m.,
Oh,
get their costumes on, get ready, go be a part of the show, and then they can leave. So, but the cool thing is for our patrons is everything that they can experience in front of the pageant prior to the show. The artists, like I said, the 120 artists, walk around, meet the artists, make an art piece, listen to the music. You know, it's a lot of fun. And if you'd like, you can even bring your own picnic and sit on our green area and enjoy the whole evening, make a day of it.
that sounds amazing. And for our listeners, for that recycle fashion show that you said, that sounds so fun. So hopefully next year we'll be on
Next
it.
year.
I'll be sharing it. We'll be ready next year.
All right, that sounds like a deal.
Sounds good. Sharbie, thank you so much for taking your time and coming on. I know you're super busy and you're actually probably there right now working. If you can give the listeners just one more little shout out of where they can go to get tickets, your dates, times, when it ends, that would be amazing.
Sure. The pageant is open through September 4th, with ending with our big gala event, which is the greatest party of all time. And the Festival Arts is open through September 3rd. You can get pageant tickets at pageanttickets.com, at foapom.com. And we sure hope to see you down in Laguna Beach to enjoy both our shows.
Ah, you're amazing. Thank you again for coming on. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you, and
Thank
we will
you.
definitely be seeing you soon
Definitely.
for sure.
All right.
And just like that, episode 9 in the books. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate my 40th than doing something I love, talking with amazing people like that, for things to experience in Southern California. A huge thank you to Sharbie for taking the time and coming on with me. She's the director and the PR for the Festival of Art, so I know she's busy, but thank you so much for hanging out with me today and sharing some of those details with our listeners. And of course, thank you to Sacred Heart Makers Guild and Jurupa Mountains Discovery Center for supporting Living the IE. And one more time, happy birthday to Eddie. Come out August 22nd and celebrate with us. The event goes from 3 p.m. to 8:30. We're going to hike up to Eddie in the evening. It's going to be a great event for the family and the kiddos. Your wristband gets you the hike up there. I think there's free cupcakes. They're going to have some crafts, some events, and of course the bounce house for the little ones to jump in, or adults maybe. I hope that his birthday is just as amazing as ours. And to everyone that is listening, if you're turning 40, 50, 60, 70, 20, whatever the number is coming up next, don't let the numbers scare you. Sometimes the best chapters come after the ones that really broke you. In my 30s, yeah, we're leaving those in the rearview mirror, and my 40s are going to be amazing. I just know it. I'm putting it out there, so it has to be. So get out there, try something new, visit somewhere that you've never been before, support local businesses, take your kids somewhere cool, go make that memory, because that's what Living the IE is all about. I'm Stephanie, and I'll see you next time on the next episode here on Living the IE, California's Inland Vibe, right here on KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM. Catch us on all of the podcast platforms like Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and more. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get notified when I finally actually upload a video, which takes me forever. I know. And until next time, Go live a little, and I'll see you in the IE. Bye, everyone.